Like we said at the start of the show, over this century, Kogalo has won the Kenyan Premier League 10 times. Throughout those 10 times, we've seen several coaches. Logarusic was the one who started the move but didn't finish. Bobby Williamson won it. Frank Natal won it. And most recently, McKinstry came in, won the double, left to coach Gambia, and last season Kogalo felt something they don't normally feel. They did not win it. What was the response of Ambrose Rachere and company? They went out to Ghana, got themselves a Ghanaian international, a former Ghana Black Stars coach, and they said, you know what, Charles Akonnor, please take us back to the top. And that is exactly what he has done. Kogalo are champions yet again, 22nd time in Kenyan history. And tonight on Spot On, we speak to the man who's made it possible, a man who I was lucky enough to watch play. Yes, I am that old. Charles Akonnor, coach, thank you very much for coming in and coming in this late. We know you've had a very busy 24 hours, a lot of champagne, a lot of celebrations. How does it feel? Has it sunk in yet? How happy are you to finally win a league title?
Of course, I am happy. First of all, I'm glad I'm being invited here. I am happy we've won, but it hasn't been easy. The journey has been difficult. Also, there was a good competition from our friends, FC, that made us even think deeper as to the things we would do. But I must say the boys have done very well. They have coped with every challenge that came their way, and support also from our management, our fans, the positively crazy guys. So we made it together, and but it has been challenging.
What's been the biggest challenge over the last 10 months?
Well, first of all, when we came, we didn't know what was expected of us. We were aware that they haven't won the league a year before we came in, and then when the day we were unveiled, we were warned, you cannot lose against FC. So we lost in our first game, and then the second game was also challenging. We have to think deep. But the most difficult time was, first we lost our first match, which was a big blow for us. But it's also a wake-up call, and it made the technical team think deeper every now and then. I have a solid technical team led by myself, Kobe Mensah, Beno, and Kofi, who is a video analyst. And of course, we had Steve join us later in terms of fitness and all that. So we work very, very hard, and a lot of thinking behind every action that the boys take, and also tactical play. We did so well. But the most defining moment was the time when we were against Moringa Seal. We were 2-0 down in the first half. They came back in the second half to score 3 goals, which was a difficult one. And that is mentally how we were able to prepare them into that match, even in the first and into the second half. So there were a lot of positive things that we can take from it. And that helped us. That made us also believe. Also, we work a lot on their mental toughness, for them to be aware and also understand tactically what we want them to do. So the boys have coped very well. Again, they've coped very well and worked very hard. And at the end, everything has paid off.
Coach, we'll come back to that game against Moringa Seal, because I think also it was the turning point for your team, because you went on to win 7 games. Yeah. But then again, you lost to APS Bomet 4-1, and then you lost to AFC Leopards, the team that you were warned not to lose against. How was that moment for you?
Oh, it was crazy. It was a difficult moment for us, especially the Derby FC, because we knew that meant a lot to our fans, and they also have the bragging rights to talk, but FC were able to shut us down. So I'll tell you the truth, in the second phase when we met them, we didn't sleep. We thought a lot, we saw them, we watched them very well, tactically, how the approach of the game, and of course what was important was how we prepared them to that match. So they were physically ready, mentally they were ready, and they were hungry to win against that FC. They were very, very hungry. They were ready because we prepared them very well.
Losing to APS Bomet, the fans were angry. The fans showed their anger. for the first time. Had you been in that position before in the other clubs that you had coached?
Oh, yeah. I mean, one thing that I have learned over the years being a coach, sometimes when you lose, you have to check how you lost the game. You have to assess the players that you use. And football, you cannot know football alone. A lot of people who come and watch every now and then have something, and you have to listen. I'm a good listener as well. And so I listen a lot, and there were a few things that we knew was not right from our side of the story. And so we made sure we changed it, and we never went back to it again, because not only us, we felt it was wrong. The fans were complaining, and you have to listen to them. And so we listened to them and started working on that aspect of the game and how we have to go about it. And we accepted also that in good faith, that we lost not because of anything, because we were not good. You know, we were not good. They were better than us. They were more determined than us, and we weren't. And maybe, probably, mentally, we disrespected them, because at that time we had played a lot of matches. We won a lot of matches. We were good. Who is Bomes to come and, you know, and that was a big blow, and that was we all received that in good faith and change. And then that also when we realized that their mental toughness is weak, and we have to work on them. So every now and then, and sometimes we do it individually, you know. For us, it's very important to first get into the brain of the players, how they are thinking and how they see football, how they approach the game. And we checked a lot of them without them knowing who they are, how they do at home, how they behave, how they even go out, and the kind of things we do. So we were then ready when we got aware of how they behave, you know. So it helped us a lot.
Coach, we speak a lot about Gor versus AFC Leopards, Mashemeji Derby, biggest derby in Kenya. How does it compare to the biggest derby in Ghana? Because you've been fortunate enough to coach in that one as well. How do they compare?
Well, it's true. I've been fortunate to coach in Ghana, both big clubs. If I have to compare, I'm telling you, our people are crazy. They are crazy, positively crazy. Yeah. They are very passionate, very, very passionate. And again, even yesterday, from the stadium to where we were going, is probably a 30-minute journey. It took us over 1.5 or 2 hours to get there, because they were celebrating with us. They were there, and you can see how passionate they are, how happy they are. And for me, there's only one thing that comes to mind: they are happy. They are happy. That is the main thing.
What's the one thing that surprised you the most about Gor Mahia and the Green Army? And is there something, the thing that surprised you the most, or the thing that stood out the most for you?
They don't like losing. And when they lose, they come to you, go to Ghana. Coach, you go to Ghana. Anyway, it's just by the way. But they don't like losing, and that is for me a difficult thing to take from my fans. You know, how then do I handle it? Does it mean I have to win every match? It's impossible. You know, it's impossible. Even the Arsenals and the big time Manchester City, they sometimes they lose. You know, not because I want to lose, but the other thing that I've also noticed, any team in this league that Gor Mahia plays is like a war. You know, I have watched most of the teams playing against each other, and sometimes you look and say, is that the same team that I played against? It's different. And that was something that we weren't aware, but we made sure that our boys understood that. Even though they might know, we said it every single time. And I think it's rang a bell in their heads, and they knew that any time they are going into a match, they are not going to have it easy. So they are ready. Their preparedness, their readiness to start. Start well. Prepare yourself well. We do that, and thank God, it has most of the time worked for us.
So which team was the toughest to face, despite the fact that you had done all your homework and you were like, okay, this team is not too tough, but on the day of the game, it was a different team altogether?
I don't know what to say. Any team we play has always been tough because of how they behave. You know, you look at a team who probably is not doing well, even on the table, you know he's down. And you'll be surprised when you meet the team, like the way and manner they play, how determined they are to win. You know, it's very, very challenging. And for that fact, we always have to prepare our boys. But remarkable moment where, like I said, we came from behind 2-0 and won shows resilience from our team. And then there was another match too, we were almost losing. We came from behind. I've forgotten the name, also in Kasarani. We almost lost. But the guys showed some toughness, mental toughness, and they were ready. And sometimes you look at it and you hear people say it's never happened before. Even if it happened, it's been a long time, you know. So they've shown a lot of braveness in terms of how they played.
Let's go back to that game that you've mentioned. From 2 goals down, the second half, you scored 3 goals. Beat Muranga Seal in Muranga. You have to put that into context also. You were away. And then after that, you go on a 7-game winning streak. What changed?
It's the mentality, like I said. You see, the African player is different. I've had a chance to play in Europe and also as an African, I know. And the European player, young player, is different. You cannot treat or handle the European player the same way as an African player. The African player comes with a lot of load, you know, issues. And so it's very, very important, it's key. Not just, sometimes you have to go beyond coaching. You know, tactical play and all those things. You need to get into the brain of the player because sometimes he's coming from a lot of load, lot of issues back home. And if you don't get to know him, you don't get to pick his brain on things, discuss with him, talk to him, let him feel good about himself and discuss issues and let him feel you are there for him. You know, that is when the African player, will be able to open up and do things the right way. Because, you know, I say this, I don't know about here, but in Ghana, you see a young player, 18-year, 17-year boy, he's come to training, and probably maybe he's here too. He's doing the training, he's not giving his best. And you, the coach, you are shouting at him. Maybe he's never eaten since morning. And he's come to training, you are demanding that if you don't get close to him, if you don't get to his brain and get things, how would you know? You know? And so it's so important that sometimes you have to go beyond coaching. And that is what me and my technical team, we've done. My assistant, a very solid guy, was just this year worked with me, but I've known him. We've done that because we've had that discussions in so many ways. And like I said, everything you do, you have to manage it.
Coach, let's talk about the impact of your signings. This title could be labeled Made in Ghana. And coach is Ghana. Elijah said the best player in the team you came with. What's the impact of the players you brought in? What did they bring on to the team?
Well, not just our Ghanaian players. Don't forget, Jackson was in Sofapaka. He was somewhere. We brought him. And then, of course, Jackson.
Yes.
Who was then, he went to Europe, he came back. And so, him, Jackson, and Frank, Asafua as well, they played a lot of impact, a bigger role for us. Asafua, who always comes from behind in the second half, always comes in and delivers, scores for us, have been very impactful in the way we've played. Also, Jackson defensively, Frank defensively has been solid. Jackson, a midfield maestro, is very clever, technically very good. So, but we know how to use them. Jackson doesn't, he most of the time he plays, but sometimes we drop him because we know what the opponent is made of and how they are coming. And so we find a way. But it has always worked, and I am very thankful to my technical team.
You've won the Kenyan League. Next up is the CAF Champions League. Like we said, 10 titles in the 2000s is great for Kogalo. But in the continental scene, not much has happened. What do you need? What does that team need?
It means that we have to strengthen the team. It means that we have to get positions that we feel there's depth there. You know, we have to find a way of bringing in. And of course, need some creativity or some fire up front. And so we've looked into it very well, deeply, and we have an idea of the kind of players we need to bring on board to help us. We are hoping that most of the players will come from Kenya.
Okay, so you would rather find them from the local league, but if you get a chance to get another Enoch Morrison, you will. Another Doang, you will.
Oh, of course, but like I said, we're not just going to start now. We have a rough idea.
Yes.
The kind of players, and because if we are now going to do it, we are late. Yes, and so there's a lot of work going on, and we believe in a month or two we'll have those players.
Yeah, coach, you signed a 2-year deal, so this is the first year, so we are entering into the second year. So we do hope that you stay and continue the good job that you're doing. But something that was key this season was the set piece for Gor Mahia, the throw-ins, the long throws. Gor Mahia scored 15 goals from set pieces and throw-ins. Abroad, Arsenal is doing that. Looks like you're mimicking the best team.
No, it's a matter of the ideas and the kind of players you have. You know, we are aware of the strength of Sylvester, Frank. And so when there's any throw-in, and of course, Capen and Morrison, who are the best throw of the ball, they go and it's like a corner kick for us. So we've used it wisely because we know it's one of our strengths. And why not? You know, so it's been good. If we look at even our match against Moringa Seal, Frank didn't start well. We had the options to take him out, but we kept him in. We kept him only because of these situations. And thankfully, the goal Musa scored, the second goal, it was as a result of Frank going in. You know, so we think beyond what you guys would think.
Yes.
Because at that moment, everybody, including some around us, we have to change him. But me and the assistant knew what we were doing. So we didn't change him. It yielded into a good result at the end. And that is the dynamic. Sometimes it could go wrong, though. It could go wrong and we'll be seen as bad coaches. Yeah.
You should have removed him.
Yeah. Why did you do it? But sometimes you got to be patient. You got to be patient, and we were patient. We gave him fire of what he was doing, especially in the recess. But it yielded into a good result for us, yeah.
You've coached in Ghana and Kenya. How can you compare the Kenyan player and the Ghanaian player? Ghanaian players have gotten the opportunity to be more exposed than the Kenyan players. I mean, I don't know if it's the coaching. I don't know if it's the exports that have come back and also shared the knowledge that they have acquired out there. How can you compare the Kenyan player mentality, the Kenyan player football education that they've received by the time they're getting to the Premier League?
Ghana have talent. It's a fact. He has talent. But the African player lack discipline. The African player lack discipline, and until he understands exactly what he has to do to excel, to expose himself into the next level, he's always going to be there, you know. And that is why sometimes coaches have to be patient, because they lack that understanding, they lack that discipline, because they were not taught from the beginning. That's why I made mention of, if you want to compare a European player who is a 16-year boy coming up to an African player who is 16, there's a big difference, because the opportunities they have there, we don't have it here. You know, talk of even grassroots football level. These guys start in Europe from age 10, 11, 12, 14. By the time he gets 16, he knows what to do. The African player doesn't have that. You understand me? So if you are teaching him and you realize that he's not getting it, not because he's stupid, excuse my language, not because he's not intelligent, because he doesn't know. So if you're a coach and you are not patient, okay, but having said that, you always need to draw the line with an African player. Because if you allow him, he cross the line easily. With that, and for us, you don't. If you cross the line, you get into trouble. But we have to be patient enough to be convinced that we've been patient to teach you, to educate you about certain things. Sometimes not even just what you come on the field of play and do, off the field of play. You know, you need to educate them to understand, because what we experienced in Ghana before we even came here, we realized that here too, it's the same wahala.
I hear you, Coach, but then how come the Ghanaian player is able to, the guys who are able to go pro and stay pro, by pro, I mean, okay, go abroad, let's not say go pro. The guys who are able to go abroad and stick in there are a lot more than the guys who are able to live, for example, Nairobi, making it to the big leagues. Like when you compare the number of players, top players of Ghana who are in the Bundesliga or Bundesliga 2 or Spain or Ligue A, then you look at Ghana, or you look at Kenya. Why do you think the Kenyan player maybe is not making as much headway?
Well, I think the Ghanaian player has a lot of exposure in terms of what they play, and we've done well in the past in terms of youth development. You know, if you talk of the likes of Sule Muntari, Michael Essien, Stephen Appiah and others, they were groomed. We had this man called Ben Kofi. Ben Kofi, he was, I think he stayed more in Zimbabwe. He came and had a 10-year plan. And we started that. That is how we were able to get the likes of Asamoah Gyan, Muntari, their group that played in the 2010 World Cup. So they were groomed from, and if you do it well, the end results will be good. You know, and that is what I think Kenya is also lacking.
But Coach, you and Sami Kufo, you maybe didn't have the grooming, but look at how well you did when you went abroad. You stuck it in there.
We had the grooming.
But you also had it.
Yeah, but it was different.
Yes.
In Ghana, those days, they enjoy youth football. And you see a youth game, and the stadium is full. You understand me? We didn't have what we call like an academies and all this, but we had those games where we are free. You are able to play, express yourself, and all those things. Even you go to you move around and go to you see five-a-side game. We are playing, enjoying, and people are watching, you know. It's part of those things. You don't have that here.
Yeah.
You don't have that. And until you start doing that, it will always be difficult. I think Kenya has the best facilities so far, what I've seen. The facilities are not that bad, but they should be encouraged. And also we should have coaches in this country who can teach the boys. Teaching young players is not about results. It's about development. You should have coaches who are patient to develop the youth. Not shouting on them, not getting results they want to win, no. When you start to do these things with kids, it's all about development. Even the youth under 17, under 16, national teams, we shouldn't stress them with results. Develop them, and that would be good.
Does size play a factor? The size, physique?
Oh yeah. There's so many reasons why. When I was talking, I used Frank and Sylvester throwing. They are huge guys.
Yeah.
You know, so yes, it matters a lot. But how you use it is another issue.
So, by the way, Ghana, just before the World Cup in April, they fired their coach. And then somehow we were scared. We were scared that we were going to lose our coach because our coach was being linked with the Ghanaian national team. That was a proud moment. I mean, we were proud. At least we know the caliber of coach that we have. He's a coach who is being touted to maybe take the Ghanaian national team to the World Cup. Huge responsibility. Was there any chance of you leaving Gor Mahia?
Oh, there's still even chance today to leave.
Don't break my heart.
No, I'm not. It's a fact. But you see, we've built something. We've started something. It will be necessary, very important to finish it. You understand me? For this level that we've taken these players, the level that we've taken the fans, the kind of football they've seen, I mean, they will want a repetition of that, right or wrong.
True.
It won't make sense to go. Am I making sense?
Yes.
Yeah. So that is all about it. It is not about the rumor here and there. Yes, they will come, but it means that our management should also wake up and try and do something to improve the level, right?
Exactly.
Exactly. We get you.
Coach, let me take you back a bit to Kogalo and your first season. Is there a player who has surprised you by how good he's been? Is there someone you saw and you thought, I didn't know he was that good? That was with how well he's played for you. And when you look at that team, are you seeing some players you're thinking, this could do a job in Europe? This one could get a move abroad?
Without being partial.
Yes.
Because I'm a father of
25, 30 players.
Yes. And so, but to be honest, somebody like Brighton and Yona, when we came here, we saw him and we didn't think he could do well. I quite remember in our first friendly or second friendly, because at that time we had 11 who was to play, and then he got injured. And so we didn't have any left back. We played him, and after the I said, what do you think you are doing? That's what I asked him. What do you think? And then he gave me an assurance where he said, Coach, give me time, I will improve. The rest is history. You know, he has been a revelation, and not just him. I think Paulo Chona has also been a revelation, and above all, Musa, who was somehow a regular player. He played. He's been in and off last season. He has been very, very consistent. He has improved. He has become a national player, and we are proud of him. Even Brighton as well, who was nothing to write home about, is now a big player who is a national player. So it is the reason why we are here. We are here not just to coach, but to improve players. And if we could see players like Brighton and Paul, Musa, and the rest, then we are doing a good job.
Can we, Elijah spoke about Ghana, the Black Stars. The World Cup is in all of what, 2 weeks? It starts.
1 week.
Are you excited when you're looking at the Black Stars? You know, you're a Black Star at heart. You played for them for many caps, I think over 50. Are you excited when you look at the team? What do you think of their chances?
Well,
in the US?
I first of all, I'm now a fan.
Exactly. Exactly.
So I will act as a fan, you know, not as a coach or a former coach.
Yes.
The journey has been tough in the last few years. It doesn't look good. We failed to qualify for AFCON. That was a disaster for us in Ghana. As a fan, we were always shouting. And now, just when we were about to go, we sacked the coach. It brings a little bit of instability. But thank God, the man on board is well experienced. He's covered almost every area of the game in terms of coaching. He has rich CV, very experienced. So we believe that he will do a good job. He selected his players. From coach's perspective, I think we need to give him the support. He knows exactly why he calls such players, and so I will just support him and be positive about the team.
Lastly, from me, there was an argument that one of the Nairobi United CEO said that he feels that the league needs to improve the quota of foreign players in order for Kenyan teams to compete at the continental level. Do you share the same sentiment?
Well, I mean, if you look at Europe or Premiership, how many foreigners are playing a team, Arsenal and all that? And is it the most attractive league in the world? You will say yes. It's how they've how do you package it, you know. Kenya is doing well. I must say I'm also surprised. After I have experienced a few things here, there's hope for the future. They need to look at things and develop it in a better way. Yes, if they can have more foreigners, it can improve the league at a certain time. I think it's also necessary to develop youth football here. Try to put more money into it, to bring out talent here, because we've not looked for them. I don't think they've searched for the talents. That's why we can say Ghana is that, because in Ghana we search for them, we hunt them. Here the interest is a little bit on the lower side. But there's more room to operate.
Coach, I'm delighted. I hope you stay. I wish you all the very best.
Thank you.
I hope the players that you want are delivered to you. The ones that you write their names down. It's very important. And I know we'll do well.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
CK Akonnor, Charles Akonnor, once again, thank you for making my co-presenter happy. He smiled most of this season. Last season, he was very unhappy. So thank you very much. And once again, for lending your expertise and knowledge. And I wish you all the best with Kogalo. I wish you all the best with Ghana in the USA. And again, thank you very much for coming in tonight.
Thank you very much. I must ask you.
Yes.
Are you a Gor fan?
No.
Oh.
But, the very first, one of the reasons why I became a journalist, one of the reasons why I love football, is that my very first football game ever was Gor Mahia versus BTM of Madagascar.
You see, you betrayed us.
My all-time favorite player in Kenya, like the man who, if I see I cannot talk, is a Gor legend, Peter Ocheng Dao. Big man, big striker, was the main striker when Gor won the Mandela Cup in 1987. So I may not wear the green like he does, but Kogalo are a wonderful team. And most of my great moments in journalism, Coach, have been around Kogalo. I've been always around Kogalo. You've had a chance to play with them in Kisumu. That energy only Kogalo can bring, and that is why he is so happy. And that's why I am grateful on his behalf that you've made not just him, but the Green Army happy.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for having me.
That's Charles Akonnor, CK Akonnor. He is the coach of Kogalo. He was told, take Kogalo back to the top. And he said, you know what? Hold my beer. He's gone on. He's done it. Kogalo are champions. And who knows what he will achieve with them as he gets to the second year of his contract. He's gotten Kogalo title number 22. Elijah hopes and believes and prays that number 23 will be coming. Let's now shift to Short of the Weekend. And believe it or not, there's only one place to go with Short of the Weekend. It's with the man who we've had in studio all along. His name